2 of the Von Hessler Doctrine is beginning right now. So that story about high school name, image, and likeness, I didn't even know this was going on. Now, this is sort of a protective act, I guess. Every state deals with high school name, image, and likeness differently. So Georgia House passed HB 383, the Georgia High School NIL Protection Act. It ensures contracts automatically expire upon graduation, prohibiting long-term deals that follow students into college. The Georgia High School Association forbids the use of school logos, facilities, or apparel in any endorsement deals. Restrictions, those restrictions prohibited endorsement. NIL deals cannot involve alcohol, tobacco, or weapons. Despite the allowance, NIL deals for GHSA athletes are generally small, with very few involving significant money, but that's just right now.
Can you imagine what this is going to be like? Think of what Buford did. What Buford with that gigantic stadium.
Yes.
They
must be thinking we're going to go buy.
They're a powerhouse in high school football here in this state, and they knew that, so that's why they built that big stadium, knowing that NIL is coming that way.
So this is.
School.
I'm going to tell you this. This is not a hard one. I was in favor of college players being paid. These are people who not everybody goes to college. Not to get into anything, but maybe every particular athlete, if they weren't an athlete, wouldn't be in that college. They'd be out making money. I see them as adults, and the government shouldn't tell you that you can't make money. If somebody wants to legitimately pay you money and you pay the taxes and all of that. High school is a bit different. I don't.
Full stop.
Now,
That's insane.
I don't know. As I say that, and I'm talking myself through it, I dropped out of high school when I was 16. I had a job. I moved on with my life.
But you're not 18.
Right. You're not 18. And this is not a good thing. It may be small amounts of money now, but like you said, once it becomes a thing that's a thing that's a thing, the money is just going to go up and up and up. And, at some point, going back to the discussion we had when we came on the air, at some point, adults do have to get back to the role of looking out for the youth. And guess what? It's always hard because young people don't think that the best thing for them at the time is the same as what older people who have been young people and have now had experiences and grown up think is the best thing for the young person at the time. And that creates friction, and most people don't enjoy conflict. But I guess if I had somebody sit down with me and explain to me why it's the same, because it sounds like to me it's being argued, well, it's the same situation as college.
But it's not.
It's not. It doesn't. First of all, at some point, the age of the people involved should have something to do with this.
Yes. Amen.
And if you want to, you give a lot of money. Again, it's not significant now. But we know how things are going. It'll get more and more and more. Yeah, well, it's more than that. It's if you want to destroy a young person's mind, give them a bunch of money.
Yes.
Is the idea now that experience adds up to nothing, therefore we should not think of it when we're thinking about issues in society? Should we just always be legalistic, letter to the, well, he's 16, he can believe it. But we know because we've been 16 and now we're not 16. We know what the 16-year-old doesn't know, that the 16-year-old will one day know when they go through their experiences.
And when does it stop? I know.
Baseball players, they start identifying baseball players when they're pitchers, when they're 11, 12 years old.
When I was in middle school, we had 2 players on our middle school football team that the high schools around Fayette County were looking at already and trying to get them to recruit to move to one of their districts there. Obviously, no money involved.
Right.
And those
but
players,
pretty soon, there's going to be money involved.
One of them did end up going to the NFL, but where does it stop, though? You're going to start giving elementary school?
And also, what would be probably a decent idea here? That, of course, any good idea for someone who's 16 or 17 is not going to seem to them like a good idea because that's the way the world works. But maybe a good idea would be and tell me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows that it's in there, maybe this should be set up as a fund that you can't access until you're 21 years old or something along those college fund, something along those lines. But because I'm wondering about parents, aunts, uncles. Some of them are going to be great, but when you're this age, are you really in charge of your money?
I think you're overreacting here. Eric, there's plenty of examples out there of child stars.
They do just fine.
Yeah, Dana Plato.
Yeah, they all seem to do just fine. Great thing to look at. Child stars. How rare is it that they end up being fully developed adults? It does happen. Jodie Foster. There was another one recently that's come back. That
Ron Howard.
Well, Ron Howard is he's the standard.
Even Clint.
Yeah. Well, he had Ron. He could always borrow some money if he needed to. So this is just, it really is something else. That there's something going on in this society where adults are just deciding, well, who knows? Who's to judge? You know, I mean, they're 16. There were things that adults told me I could not do that I wanted to do. And they said, when you're older. And I thought, you know what's going to happen when I'm older? I'm going to disown you because you're being so mean to me. And then I got older and I got some experience.
Oh, yeah, that's what they were talking about.
Talking about. How do you expect a 17-year-old high school student, not even 17, you're high school, you could be 15.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you expect a 15-year-old to be able to deal with, I've got a bunch of money now? Look at the people who just grow up rich because their parents have a bunch of money. There's enough trouble you see right there.
Well, they're always well adjusted.
Yeah. I mean, here's the problem. If you have a problem, if you have something like an addiction, you know, let's say you're 16 years old and your parents are just, you know, you've been raised by nannies, your parents are whatever, and your parents just throw money at you. Well, it's a lot easier in that situation for your addiction to take a hold of you for your entire life than if you're dead broke when you're 15 or 16. You know, not that it doesn't happen. It does happen. But I'm amazed by this. Now, I think that this law basically is just getting ahead of, I'm not condemning the people who passed the law. I think they know this is coming and they're trying to put some guardrails up. I get it. I'm not really addressing that. I'm just addressing overall. It's more of this thing I've talked about where we're just becoming a purely transactional society. Get yours. Get yours. Get yours now. Don't worry where it came from, the consequences, if anybody got harmed, nothing. Get yours, which everybody should hustle and try to be successful. But this is a different thing that is soulless. It's completely soulless. It's another thing where the agent who recruits high school athletes, if they're smart enough to be an agent, there's got to be some part of that brain matter that says, a lot of these kids are going to get hurt because of this. But America 250, I am an agent and I am going to get mine. And then the uncle that shows up to the 15-year-old and tries to lay out to him why he shouldn't be accepting all this money is going to be laughed out of the room. Because if I was 15 and someone was going to give me a bunch of money, I'd elbow every adult between me and that bag of cash because I'm 15. But a 15-year-old's worldview should not be the way that the world is run. And it just seems more and more. Maybe I'm missing something.
Think of them getting
here.
a free Ford F-150 from the local car dealer.
Yeah.
And then they wreck it in a week because they can't really drive.
Yeah, right. And what does it do to a person's, the hubris that can be created in your mind about who you are? You're more important than the other high school students around you.
Well, and what's really
in college, you got a couple more years of maturity.
What's really interesting about this is that I know that I brought up the Buford Stadium that was built. If people are unfamiliar, it's a multi-million-dollar stadium that's bigger than most college stadiums that was built up there.
But I'm sure the arts program in that school is well funded as well.
I'm sure. This bill, this bill 383, where the Georgia High School NIL Protection Act, was sponsored by Brent Cox, who is from Dawsonville, which is right there near Buford.
Right.
So what did they know up there compared to the rest of the state? Why is that part
Well,
of
I
the
think
state
maybe
Northeast?
I think, and again, I don't want to condemn necessarily the politicians who did it because I think that they would say, look, we're just trying to put guardrails up on something that we know is coming. So, I don't think that they're creating this. Every state does it their own way. Some states don't
Sure.
allow it. Eventually, if enough states allow it, every state's going to allow it. That's the way that it goes. But it's not good, is what I'm saying. It's just not good. You want to destroy a 15-year-old? Give him a bunch of money.
Imagine if a player, too, just going through a scenario, let's say that you're 15-year-old freshman, right? 14, 15-year-old freshman, and you have already signed an NIL deal, but then your coach puts you on JV. Does the NIL deal say that, oh, well, he gets paid to play varsity?
Right.
I mean, what happens then?
Well, we're going to have
Does
to
the
work
coach get
all
the
of these
final
things
say?
out.
Does NIL get the final
Are they
say?
going to? Are they? The high school is going to have a transfer portal?
I don't know.
Do they? I don't even know. Maybe they do. I don't follow high school sports. But my youngest son is 28, so I have no idea.
Wild.
Let's say hello to Alex Williams. Alex says there's